Hello. Happy New Year. How's it going? I'm making sure my mic's working this time because last time I streamed for the first minute there was no audio from my mic because I'm a moron. Hello, Happy New Year everyone. I hope you've all had a lovely holiday. I took a couple of weeks off and now we're back to painting. I've got a Bolt Action Escalation League. I've never played Bolt Action before, but I've got a league coming up with a local club and I wanted to join in, and I picked up the first things that I needed, which was a box of British and Canadian Army Infantry 1943 to 1945. And I have started painting them today, actually. I was throwing some paint on just to see, because I will be doing like a proper tutorial. And the way that I've done these, it's kind of been like a roundabout way. Like they needed to go back a little bit more khaki than green, because they were looking quite American with their fatigues. So yeah, if I started again, I wouldn't have done it this way because it was a long way around it. But I think they're looking more British than American now. So the plan is for the next 2 hours, or 1 hour 59 minutes, I'm going to do the skin tones and maybe a bit of detailing and see where we get. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Yeah, so let's start. Nice chilled out, relaxing music. And we'll just have a play, really. So we're going to start in with Army Painter Peachy Flesh. And I'll just kind of grab, I'm batch painting. I've got, how many have I got? 20. I got about 18 that are kind of painted to this state. I ran out of these holders, so I've got 6 of them that are unsprayed and ready to go. And I need to get all of these painted by this Saturday because it's not the first part of the Escalation League, not the first session, but it's like a tester day. Tester, come and try Bolt Action. I kind of want to have them done. It's not the end of the world if I don't, but it would be nice. So I'm going to grab a load of, let's just grab, hang on, not you, you, let's do these 3 with Peachy Flesh and then see where we go. I hope everyone had a lovely holiday, whether you were celebrating Christmas or not, and then into the new year. And it was nice and chilled at my end. It's quite relaxing. It's good. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, or the processes, or anything like that, just let me know. My camera's a little off color-wise, so I might just fix that. Because that's a little bit washed out, I think. Yeah, it is. Let's sort that out. A second. There. Okay, what do I need to mess with? I need to mess with the white balance. Maybe it's saturation, actually, it's a little washed out. So we up it to there, and then there we go. That's more accurate to what it actually looks like. Sorted. Right. So yeah, I kind of want to get the skin tones down, and then maybe the weapons. That'll be a big tick. I am batch paintings, and these are my own models, and I want to make them look nice, but I'm not spending crazy time on them because otherwise they'll just never get done. Because I know me. And that's just how my mind works. If it takes too long, I just ain't gonna do it. I have so many projects that haven't been finished because of that. Ooh, Velreth, okay. What, sorry, I'm assuming computer game? I'm assuming, from what you're saying there. So we're going to do the basic skin tone, and then we'll hit in with the usual Magus purple and that kind of little wash. PC game roguelike creature battler. Ooh, intriguing. Intriguing. I've been hitting Ark pretty hard recently. I've shelled out for my own server, just because I could not find an official server that was remotely free of all the building spam. So considering how much time I sink into Ark, I was like, sod it, I'll just purge. I'll just get one. It's fine. Okay. Real mix of skin tones. So we've got 4 peachy flesh. I'm going to dive over to warrior skin or crusader skin. Let's do warrior skin. A little bit of a more tanned look. Let's have you. We're going in and layering in the paint quite thickly, and then we'll go back in and just wick up that excess so it doesn't pool too much. Slightly overexposed, and I don't know why. Let's just turn the light down, that might help. Yeah, roughly there. Hang on, let me just catch up. I think it's first generation games. Okay, intriguing. I've been testing Army Paints 1.0 Alpha. It's a 3D model painting application. Wasn't there a game that kind of utilized in-game army painting? And it's basically, it was a virtual tabletop game, and I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, and I don't know whether it's still going. It kind of made a splash a while ago and then went very quiet. Moonbreaker, that's the one. Yes, thank you. Is that still a thing, or has that died a death? Okay. Let's have you. I'll paint the brush. I'll paint the glasses in afterwards. I think I'll go back and do white, because I'm gonna have to do something about these straps, because they're not supposed to be the same colour as the uniform. They're a bit more of a green. A lighter green. Ooh. I think this is the most kind of mass plastic models that I've worked on for a while, as opposed to 3D prints. It's weird going back to this style of model, because there is a difference. There is definitely a difference. Looks like it's still going. Has cosmetic and soundtrack DLC. Ooh, okay, intriguing. Hey, Squeezel, how's it going? Welcome in. Right. I wanted a couple of these infantry with a darker skin tone. So we're gonna leave those 3. No, maybe not that one. Yeah, those 3 to one side, and then so this is my commanding officer. For the infantry, I can't remember what they call the infantry platoon commander. That's the one. No redeems, I'm afraid, Squeeze, or no redeems. The redeems are gone. A product of a bygone age. There we go. Okay, I'm actually going to go and use my own Patreon right now, purely because I've got a very useful skin tone PDF, or I can just go on the Canva, because that's where I made it. Where's Canva? Cool. If you'd like to check it out, then go and check out my Patreon. But it's a very useful. Just can I share this? Can I share? Is there anything on here that you can't see? Yeah. Okay. This is my little skin tone tutorial. I'm not going to show. I'm going to show you the front page, because spoilers. But yeah, this is a very useful kind of little catalog library, I guess, of different skin tones and how to very simply paint them. So I'm going to pick that one. Noble skin? No, not that one. I want Noble skin and peachy flesh. There we go. Aren't we? What a product of a bygone era. Right. Noble skin first. That document is all about layering speed paints to achieve different tones. And gives you examples of what each one looks like. It's just a hand. I created it because it would be handy for me, but also I thought it would be handy for people just to go, you know what, I want to do something a little different with this skin tone. What are my options in the speed paint range and contrast and things like that. That was December 8th, 2020. Oh my god. Oh my god. What model is that? Oh, that's the is it Archvillain Games? That Angel? I think it was Archvillain. I think I've still got that somewhere. That was your first clip? Damn. Moonbreaker is a skirmish version of what Wizards of the Coast needs to build for the virtual tabletop. Yeah, it kind of had that vibe, didn't it? brush is has really had enough of speed paint. It does not hold together as soon as I put speed paint anywhere near it. Maybe. Actually, no. I'll do. Start with Noble Flesh, and then we'll do 2 different skin tones. One layering Peachy. Was it Peachy Flesh? I think it was Peachy Flesh. Yeah, Peachy Flesh over, and the other one I'll use Gorgrunt Fur, because that gives a really nice tone. I just realised I can't see the YouTube chat. There we go. That's better. Can I pop out the YouTube chat? That's probably... I can, can't I? I can! Yeah! So I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the moment. There we go. Now I can have those chats and see the stats and all that. That's useful. Okay. Thank you, Squeezel. Yeah, I have been sitting down for quite some time. Right. Put those to one side because of speed paint. We're cracking through these skin tones. So I'm going to go over to Crusader skin now. And I think we'll do the rest in Crusader skin. So we've got, what, 6 more to do? Then I can vary it a little bit more with the final 6 that haven't been undercoated. Okay. Bailey is fully asleep. Well, he was until I said his name. Crusader Flesh is incredibly runny. I'm just kind of slapping it on, and then we'll worry about any overspill later down the line. Unfortunately, this brush just does not give me a lot of control like it used to compared to others. Seep down his shirt a little bit. I'm really looking forward to playing Bolt Action. It's a game that I've wanted to have a go out for a while. And when I saw this Escalation League in this local group that I've only just joined, got slightly excited and went, it's fine, and Impulse bought the rulebook and the first box. this brush has gotten to the point where I'm just using this paint as an ink. Just load up the brush and just touch the area and just let the paint flow, basically. It does mean that it's flowing onto the edges of the jacket a little bit, but it's not the end of the world because I don't mind a little bit of brown going onto the green. It kind of worked in that respect. I think in hindsight I would have gone a little bit more brown on the fatigues, a little bit more khaki. It's not a million miles off, it's not 100% historically accurate, but it's fine. The tutorial, the official, the actual tutorial that will go out on Patreon will be more accurate. I'll put more khaki in the colour scheme. So that's all of the skin tone done for now. Let's see what's dry. We can work on the next stages. You're dry. So all the ones I've just done, we'll move those. And by the time we've worked on everything else, it should be dry. So I'll work down the line. Yeah, cool. Okay. What do I want? I want some Magus purple. Yeah, let's thin some Magus purple down and give it a little extra. Oh, I just put my finger in that khaki paint from earlier. Great. Antiv, hey, what scale are they? Look like good guard proxies. They're slightly smaller than GW models. They're more like somewhere between 25 and 28 mil. I'd say they're probably 28 mil, I think. But yeah, they could totally work for guard, but they are quite small. Well, I don't know actually. Yeah, they'd work. They'd be absolutely fine. Firehawk, hey, how's it going? Yeah, all the redeems are gone, mate. All the redeems are gone. Yeah, no, I mean they totally work if you know, in a pinch. Right. Actually, while I've got... Oh, is that the peachy flesh? I think that's the peachy flesh. Let's do... peachy flesh over this. A little bit more warmth into that skin tone. That, and I'll do the same on this guy. It's going well, Firehawk, going well. Had a nice relaxed Christmas and New Year's. I can't remember the last. Have you been in the newer streams? I can't remember when the last time I saw you in chat was. I'm basically focusing massively on Patreon at the moment and getting tutorials out, with the aim at some point to take that full time. Apart from that, the shop's going well. I've got a booth for Salute next year, or this year, in a couple of months, or April, I believe. April? Yeah, April. Which I just got an email about. Cool. But yeah, so yeah, I've got a stall at Salute, which will be very, very exciting. Yeah, just muddling along. You've been around occasionally. My work has kept me from Twitch Masters. To be fair, that's fair. That's fair. Is it busy? Is it? A little bit of gore grunt of fur. Yeah, this my streams are very different to what they used to be. A lot more chilled out. Only once a week for 2 hours, and I'm not gonna lie, it's more an excuse to paint models for myself and just have a little bit of a socialise with the community. Because otherwise, I never paint anything for myself. Which is a sad, sorry state of affairs. Officially promoted twice since I started over 2 years ago, and I'm applying for my 3rd promotion. Nice, congratulations. Yeah, that's pretty busy. That is pretty busy. Well, I hope you get the 3rd promotion, my dude. Okay. Are those skin tones different enough? Yeah, they are. That's fine. Right. Okay. Now I need the Volupus Pink and some Speedpaint Medium. Volupus Pink? No. Magus Purple. That's the one. So, Magus Purple. This stuff is a godsend when it comes to having a little extra tonal variation in your flesh. Your skin tones. So we do a couple of drops of that. You don't need much. And then you get some Speedpaint Medium, of which I have a giant bottle. And then equal parts of that. Mix it in and put that over all the skin. So, hang on, just so you can see. So it is very thin, very watery. Ignore the utter state of my paint palette. I won't do things like the eyes today. Might do a little bit of stubble. It's a little bit more of a pink tone to the skin. If you see a before and after, you can see what I mean. And you can do as much or as little as you want. I find it's worth at least putting it around the eyes and the nose. And then I get carried away and just put it all over. Because it just works. Alright, hang on. I'm messing my order up here. There we go. There. Because there's a limited amount of sculpts in this set, I'm going to aim to do various skin tones differently on the same faces, if you know what I mean. So, for example, this is obviously the same face, so we'll do something. I'll have this one with Volupus Pink, and then maybe this one with, maybe just without, to be honest. It still works. The one on the left does seem like it needs something. Got slapped. You start by reading my message out, so if you ask the question, sorry if I missed it. No, it's fine. No, I just said good luck. I hope you get the. Actually, I might just do one with stubble, so I'll do both. Good luck with the 3rd promotion. I hope you get it. I think this one I might just add a beard or something to that one. You've add that. Do you need... No, you're fine. We might do something on you. Maybe? Just a little bit. I'm not... Don't always have to go all over the skin. Just a hint of extra colour in there. And then definitely on the Crusader flesh, because that's very, very light. You could do with a little extra bit of tone to it. Whipple Crypt, not hearing any sound. Refresh. I mean, me saying refresh is pointless if you can't hear me, but I mean, sound is okay at my end. I will say I found some time the last couple of weeks to get some painting. Hey, what have you been working on? What's everyone been working on? Talk to me, tell me. This is the most batch painting I've done in ages. Absolutely ages. This is very strange. It does help that they all have exactly the same uniform, to be honest. Been working on my BOK for AOS. Oh, Blades of Corn. Very, very nice. I've been working on a converted Krieg Lehman Russ ahead of new release. Yes, Krieg, yes. Good. I love the mounted character. Really, really like that. Very strong sculpt. I will most certainly have to pick one up to do a tutorial on that. Especially considering character tutorials seem to be going down quite well. The Dante one got a lot of traction. Which I haven't even finished, that was just the armour. So I need to crack on. I might do that tomorrow. Oh no, I've got other models that have been sent to me that I need to do. A shop called Enchanted Anvil very kindly sent me the Army Painter Fanatic starter set, which is very kind of them. So I need to do a little video for them, sorry. Right, okay. I want to do all of the netting on these helmets. So, I think I was going to use algae green for that. And then might use a little bit of I'll swap to a bigger brush. Might use a little bit of rattling grime or something just to tone it down. I don't know how bright this is going to come out. Pretty bright. So yeah, I might use a little bit of rattling grime to just wash that down. I want it different enough to the uniform, to the fatigues. Well, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Maybe if I wash that down, it might be a little. Let's see what it looks like when it's dry. Firehawk. When I started this hobby all those many years ago, I always wanted a Krieg army. Same. But as a kid, I could not afford a resin army. It's alright. Many adults couldn't either. Still couldn't. Yeah, plastic Krieg. Plastic Krieg. I'm amazed it took them so long. But I think as soon as we saw the Krieg kill team, we all knew what was coming. And they're so popular. They are ridiculously popular. So it's I am amazed it's taken so long. But with the fall of Forge World, it definitely makes sense. Okay, so this has got... I'm going to do this whole helmet this colour, but it's also got leaves on it, so I might go in afterwards and do the leaves a different colour. Just to differentiate a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I always wanted a Krieg army as well. It's the trench coats for me. I'm a sucker for a good trench coat. Yeah, I think I might leave the netting this colour. It actually works. It's not as bright when it's dry, so I think it should be fine. The cool thing is the Solar Auxilia Lehman Russ is the alpha pattern, which is the Krieg. Yes, 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 yes. Using 30k tanks, do it. Absolutely. $30k stuff looks better than 40k. It depends. It depends. I'm not a massive fan of the Solar Auxilia, whatever they are. You know, the 30k guard. I've never, even back to the Forge World stuff, I've never really been a fan. I get it. It just doesn't do much for me. I think 30k vehicles, there's more variation, which is kind of cool. Very intrigued to see what the LVO previews are like. I mean, obviously we're getting Lucius the Eternal, which is going to make AC Miniatures very, very happy. Which, if it's anything like the Fulgrim model, very cool. Although those full-grown faces were just a meme waiting to happen. The internet did not disappoint on that. I'm unsure which Basilisk to use, 30k or the oldie 40k one. The 40k Blast Shield style is very cool. I've always loved that. It's one of my favourite tanks. That and the Hellhound, absolutely love. The Medusa, is it the Medusa pattern that is fully enclosed? I think it's the Medusa pattern. Is also very, very cool. So I don't know. Can't help you there. I'm torn. I've always been torn between those two as well. Right. I need to do a little bit of research on what colour his hat. I can't remember the actual name of that type of hat, but yes, I need to do a little bit of research on that one. Boots, I guess, or straps. Let's get the boots done. What colour were World War II British infantry boots? Bear with me. They looked like they were just brown. World War II British uniform. I think they were just brown. Yeah, like dark brown. Okay, cool. $235 kits. I mean, you could. I mean, you know, or you could contact someone with a 3D printer and just, you know, get extra bits. Who might you know? Wait, don't you have a printer? Right. Boots. dark brown, satchel brown? Yeah, satchel brown makes sense. Let's go for that. Let's put you there. Yeah, that's an okay colour. I think the boots were technically a little darker than that, but it's fine. This actually dries quite dark. Yeah, that'll do. This is one of the very few times that I've actually started writing down my colour scheme, because I know I've got another 6 there, but it's a slow grow league, so I know that I'm going to have to come back to this colour scheme. So if I didn't write it down, it was going to be my undoing. The wish had abilities for. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, if you want anything printed in regards to that, just let me know. But yeah, you can totally get one and then add bits. Or if you're not fussed about having GW like official kits, there are totally versions of it out there which are pretty much all with Krieg in mind, because everyone realised, everyone knows Krieg is just super popular. British Paras. No, they're not. Well, I mean, the box says infantry. I'm kind of with the idea of maybe a paratrooper regiment. I've basically called them the Tommy's Trotters, and I know, I mean, in reference to Hogs of War, the old PlayStation 1 game, and I absolutely know that's the wrong war. It's World War One in Hogs of War, but it was too good an opportunity to miss. So the army is Tommy's Trotters. This is Tommy. Sure, if I dig around, might be able to find a not Basilisk file. I know exactly where to get one. If you type in Station Forge into my mini factory, I think there's at least one on there. I'm trying to be as historically accurate in regards to the models as possible, but also not worrying about. I'm not going to. It's not going to ruin my day if I get one thing wrong. I'm not going. Okay, I'm into the archives and going right. I want to make this regiment. They had exactly these weapons. I'm still approaching it as a game, but I kind of want to, make it relatively accurate. Recognised the helmets, but wasn't sure if they were Paras or not. Well, the box says British and Canadian Allied infantry. So I think it's supposed to give you options. In my list that I've got, because it's the overall thing will eventually end in a 1,000-point list, and I do have a small SAS team in there, which I need to go and get some models. But I'm kind of seeing the general infantry as kind of universal. I know that there are going to be some hardcore historical war gamers that just caused a sharp intake of breath, and these fatigues should be a lot more khaki, but I'm having fun. You do have access to all the OPR STL files as well. That's true, and they're working on the human defense, whatever they're called, HDR? No, not HDR. Whatever it is. The totally not Imperial Guard, but they've done something, you know, for their own, which is really nice. I like that. I like the humans that OPR have done. Love the veterans with the silenced machine guns or SMGs. The local rivet counter got banned from my. Oh right, okay. Oh really? What taking it a little too far with historical accuracy? Yeah, I'm not overly worried. You know, I want you to look at the force and go, oh yeah, okay, they're British. But I'm not worried. I'm not going to do all the decals and I might put the decals on, but I'm not worried about, you know, this exact regiment had this loadout because of X, Y, and Z because of this specific battle. I don't care enough. Sorry, I just don't. Let people paint plastic models how they want. Yeah, exactly. I'm painting them. I did a little bit of background research just to make sure I was in the rough ballpark. For the like I said, for the tutorial, for any tutorials I do for Patreon and YouTube, then I will make sure that they are a little bit more accurate. Which is annoying because it means I'm going to have to paint one different to the rest of the stuff that I've done. But yeah, but that's for like a different cause, you know. Someone who complains about historical accuracy we called the rivet counter because he once said a certain gun couldn't be that gun as if it didn't have enough rivets on the gun shield or something. Yeah. It's a game. Like, if you're a historian and writing a book or something like that, or writing a, you know, a paper or research, totally fair. But it's a game. And I think there's something to be said for with historical war games. It's a good thing to have a level of separation between something being very realistic and it still being a game, because there is an element, I believe, of, because you're, you know, essentially playing a game about real events that weren't in the not too distant past, it's better to have a degree of separation and ensure that yes, this is still definitely a game, rather than a retelling of exact things, because, you know, that's not how the game would work. So it's kind of good in that respect that they're not accurate, or not wholly accurate. It's the night and day between playing a game and making sure that you can tell that yes, those are the British, those are the Germans, because of these, you know, various paint schemes, and then getting, let's say, a little too enthusiastic if you play the Germans. I'm not going to go into more detail, but you can guess what I mean. And there have definitely been instances of such things. And I think especially if you choose to pick certain armies in historical war games, then you have to be very conscious about the messages that those armies gave at that point in the world, and still do, and still still give those messages. So yeah, I think it's playing historical war games. There's always been that little voice in the back of my head going, yeah, sci-fi and fantasy are one thing because it's not real, but it's undeniable that these people lived and died in this war. So there always has to be a play these games to have fun, but also respect what happened in real life. Although I don't tend to do actual historical gaming simply because the detachment from reality keeps the separation from it. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's another reason why I haven't done it up until that point. So I'm like, I like the separation, and I think there is another reason why kind of as you get older, you appreciate historical wargaming more than maybe you once did, because you have the you have the self awareness and kind of going, yes, these things did happen, and to have that separation within yourself, rather than have it where you're like fantasy and sci-fi and space and goblins and stuff like that. Right, okay. I need to... What are the main things left? The only things not painted at the moment, the metal and the gun stock. So what we're going to do is do the wood, I think, on the guns, and then we need to go back and I need to paint all the straps white, because they need to be a different colour. They need to be a light green. They actually need to be not dissimilar to this netting, or they need to be like a khaki green. Actually more brown. So let's do the wood. I think that's the best of ideas. As much on the underside and on the other side? Yeah, cool, okay. Just making sure I haven't missed anything. I think there's a degree of at some point you can just throw the Gravelord Grey at it and it will cover it. Cool, okay. Fortunately, so I'm a massive fan of massive batch painting armies. This is the most amount of infantry that I will be painting for this army. How the league works is we're doing the infantry first, and then we can do specialist stuff and tanks and artillery and things like that, which I'm very excited. I'm excited to paint a big anti-tank gun. But yeah, I won't be painting this amount of models again for this army. It was tempting to pick up a German force, mainly because I could just play with the Tiger at that point. Okay. 1 hour in, and we've got the skin tones done. So I know I can definitely get the weapons done. I can get them to the point where, for all intents and purposes, they're ready to go on the battlefield. I won't want to do a little bit more detail, like the eyes, and if any of them got open mouths, that kind of thing. A little bit more detailing. Oh, did I miss a gunstock? I did. I missed a gunstock. Or the butt. I missed 2. Why not pick up a model Tiger to paint? I might do at some point. I've got 2 tanks in my list. I was tempted to go Sherman, but they're a little squishy in the game, or they can be a little squishy in the game. So what have I got? I've got Mark II Crusader, Mark II or Mark III Crusader, and a Wolverine. And I'm not gonna lie, 90% of the choice of picking the Wolverine was the name. And then I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that's a cool looking tank. So I'm definitely having a Wolverine and a Crusader. Crusader? No. Yeah, Crusader. I can't remember whether it was Crusader or a Churchill, but I think it's Crusader. I've also already painted... Was it a Tiger I painted? I painted a Tiger years ago, and I was really happy with how it turned out. I did it in a kind of snow, frostbitten vibe. This loader here that's technically not the right thing, because I've got 2 LMGs. There are 2 squads and 1 3-man command unit, and the 2 10-man units have got LMGs, and I know that this is not the right kind of support thing, because each LMG comes with a loader, but there isn't actually anything on the sprue that denotes like this is a loader. So the other one is this one, and I just gave them a backpack which will assume that is full of not cartridges, you know what I mean, ammo. There we go. But I just like the idea of this. It kind of looks a bit more loadery-esque. You know that you're 2 hours and 30 minutes from the only running tiger in the world, tiger one in the world. Oh, is that in the I can't remember where it is, but the tank museum. I want to go there at some point. They do. Right, there's no wood on that. I don't think. There's a little. We'll do this. We'll do the stock. Yeah, there's a tank museum that does. I think they've got like model events and things like that I would like to go to. It's not too far from me. Bovington. That's the one. Yeah, thanks. Yes. Yeah, I'd like to take a trip up there. I want to kind of coincide it with when they've got an event on or something. Okay, a little bit in between the fingers, trying to be as careful as possible around the bits that I've already painted. Go. Try not to get any on the fatigues. Okay. There's another tank museum a little further up country, and I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. I'd like to go at some point. I don't think it's Bovington. It might be. What's up? What do you mean? Okay, those are the SMGs. Dialan! Hey Dialan, how's it going? This face is quite beautiful on this new screen of your phone. Welcome in, Dialan. How you doing? No space rock, I'm afraid, but we'll blame that on your phone. It's totally not me just not doing a redeem. Okay, that's that. Five more. Although not all of them have got rifles, so that makes it a little easier. Or quicker, at least. of the SMG stock is metal or wood. I think it's metal. Your mumbles? I'm what mumbles? What? Antiv, what are you on about? Am I mumbling? Oh, was I mumbling? Oh, I was probably just talking to myself. I apologise. Actually, to be fair, my mic is not in the opportune. It's not in the best place. Hang on. Ooh, let's bring it down. Oh, don't knock over the models. Oh, don't knock over the models. Okay, we're good. There we go. Problem solved. Hopefully that'll be a lot clearer for you. Dylan doing might be able to buy a small house this year. Ooh, very exciting. Very, very exciting. Best of luck with that. How am I? I'm good. I'm good, thanks. Had a nice relaxing Christmas. The Patreon has been doing really well in the last couple of weeks. So I'm hoping in the not too distant future that it goes... I'm able to take it full time. Which will be very, very exciting. Okay, that's all of the wood done for the stocks. And the gun bodies. Let me just grab... Yeah, let me just grab some white. No worries, darling. No worries. Let's grab some white. Hang on, phone. Ooh. Okay. Grab some white. Let's do some touch-ups. Before I go in with the Gravelord Grey for all the metal, of which I'm now using the wrong brush. Actually, while I'm doing the touch-ups, it would kind of make sense to do the touch-ups on all the straps. That makes this a longer job, but it's worth doing. I think the straps... Is there a khaki speed paint? I don't think there is. Or a contrast. Agros Dunes, to be fair, maybe. Is kind of khaki-ish, maybe? Vitae! Hey Vitae, how's it going? Skeleton Horde. That's a little bit light, I think. It's a good shout. I think it might be a little bit too light. Yeah. Problem is, but neither of them, like khaki has a slight hint of green to it. And neither of them do that. Yeah, there's not actually in all of the speed paint range. Oh no, actually, Fire Drake might do it. I mean, there's no green in it, but that might. Fire Drake to do it. Vite, look out for the World War II purist. Be out in force if you get it wrong. Oh, I've already got these wrong. We were talking about historical accuracies and wargaming and things like that, and I'm basically trying to paint them with historical accuracy in mind, but not worrying about it too much. I'm taking the gladiator approach to this. Like, it's set roughly the right time, and there's gladiators. So, yeah. I'm not, like I said earlier, I want to be able to put down the models on the table and someone go, oh right, you're playing British. So, yeah. AKA Former, hello, welcome in. Welcome back, Dylan. Yeah, if I can put the models down on the table and someone knows, okay, you're playing this force, then great. But I'm not going down the route of this specific regiment from this specific time of the war, because it's a game. I'm not recreating history, and I wouldn't want to, because it's bad history. It's not a fun time in the world's history. So I'm going to play the game and not the history side of it. That's right, Dylan. There's going to be plenty more opportunities. Don't you worry. What, offend everyone and not worry about offending one person? I don't want to offend anyone. I mean, it's physically impossible. Someone's not going to agree with me. But say levy. I've tried to. I've done a little bit. I've basically done a little bit of research to ensure that I don't make any glaring historical inaccuracies. You know, if the uniform isn't quite khaki enough, fine. Maybe they're fighting in darkness. So, you know, whatever. But you know, I want to make sure that there's a little bit of accuracy. Do them Imperial Guard armor. Yeah, I'll just paint them. I was going to say paint them like Krieg, but actually Krieg are the most like any like historical wargaming out of them, because they're a mixture of French military, I think it's French World War One and German helmets, and they're a real mix of things. Uniforms made of wool, there would have been some discrepancy in real life. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's the difference between World War One uniforms, World War Two uniforms, because I've worn for an acting gig, I've worn World War One. Did I do World War One and World War Two? I know I did World War One on multiple occasions. I don't know whether it was World War Two as well. I think it was World War One. Yes, it was 2014. So yeah, it was World War One. I don't think I've ever worn a replica or World War II costume. The Spike style helm is World War One inspired. That's right. Yeah. The trench gear. Yeah. Yeah. So Death Corps of Krieg are definitely World War One inspired. I couldn't remember whether there was a little bit of World War II in there as well. I know the trench coats are, or the colouring of the trench coats are based on the French uniform, I believe. And then the spiked helmets are obviously German. Belts was something I did want to get right. French War blue, I believe. Yeah, French War blue trench coats, and Krieg's trench coats are blue. They're blue grey, but they have got blue in there. I don't know whether they are now, but they used to be. The belts are. That's a major's uniform. Okay, yeah, so the belts were the same as the straps, so they're going to be that colour as well. I think once I've got the strap colour on, it will lessen the fact that the khaki on the fatigues isn't quite right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Never won World War I, World War II, only 15th century armour. Damn. What? Where? Which kind of armour? So I did a play in called Surfing Tommies, which was set in World War I, trench warfare. And so I had various bits about that, and then I did a there was a big kind of, I don't know how to call it. It was a nationwide thing to do with World War One, where lots of volunteers dressed up in British uniforms and basically just walked around towns, and it was to kind of raise awareness for the soldiers. And I did that up near Manchester. And it was to be as accurate as possible. So it did mean that I walked a long way and was standing around all day in probably some of the most uncomfortable boots I've ever worn. And it was very hot that day, and I had a big coat on as well. Wall padded jacket and chainmail full plate is super expensive even by today's standards. Yeah, I can imagine it is. And I believe, going back to the whole World War One experience thing, that was the last time that I shaved my beard. Because they wanted everyone to have accurate facial hair. So I had a tash. That was the only time I've gone out in public with just a mustache, and God, it was awful. Beard stop you getting good seal on the gas mask. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We didn't have. I don't think we had like replica gas masks. We basically just had the fatigues. We had the putties, so we had to learn to how to put putties on properly. And then what else? The the kind of straps and the belts and the pouches. I can't remember what the actual name for it is. There is a specific name. We had to wear those as well, and then some of us had kind of trench coats and that kind of thing. It was a good experience. It was we weren't allowed to talk, and if anyone, so the whole day, all of us, I think there was about 15 in my group, something like that. And if a member of the public came up and started talking to us, we had little cards with the name of a soldier, an actual soldier that died, with their name and their the date that they died, and it was harrowing. It was very emotional, but it was also quite nice to see, people coming up, quite enthusiastic and wanting to interact with you, and you just kind of solemnly hand them this card and the name, and the amount of faces that I just saw, like, go from me, read the card, I watch their face drop, and they just nod and walk away. I was like, oh god, it's gonna be a long day. It was a good experience though. There was more than one occasion where there was an elderly person who kind of looked at the card and immediately tears were in their eyes as they looked and kind of smiled and then walked away. I'm like, yep, that's why we're doing this. Medieval reenactment is much more interactive. Yeah, I used to have a friend that did a lot of medieval reenactment, and their family was quite big in that scene. And I remember this was when I was much younger. When I was at school, primary school, and I used to go around there just to play and have dinner and things like that. And their whole house was very much kind of, here's a suit of armour as soon as you walk in, there's a coat rack, and then that's where you put the bows immediately inside the door, and it was very cool. Their little archery range set up in their back garden. And my cousin does, I don't know if he still does, he used to do medieval reenactment. He's a member of the, is it the Black Shields? I want to say Black Shields. It's Black something. Black Company. It's a group that does it, I think all over the place. You got a local place that does the War of the Roses. Nice. Okay. Going through all the straps. Oh, hang on. I need to redo the helmet bits because that's going to be a different colour. I thought it was going to be this green, but it's not. Quite wealthy, so I had a large company of mounted knights. Damn. I want to go to a proper Ren fair. I know it's more of an American thing, which is very strange. But there are a couple in the UK. You have to see a warhorse up close to appreciate it. Oh, what, like full barding? Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that's pretty intimidating. unfortunately, once all these white straps are done, it won't take very long to actually do the khaki on everything. It's quite a transparent paint. I think I'll use Agros Dunes, which is fairly transparent, so it doesn't matter if it just seeps over into the green. Almost the size of cart horses. What, like Shire horses? I've seen a Shire horse in real life, and those things are huge. Stupidly big creatures. Do a little bit of touch up around the hands. All of this is going to go metal. So to get this colour on the fatigues, I started with this ochre clay, which was actually a lot more. It was too khaki. It was too yellow. So I put over camo cloak over the top, and that turned it too green. So then I dry brushed khaki, which just looked a little too light, and then I dry brushed earth over it. So it was a very roundabout way of doing it. I think it's not like a clean uniform, and I never liked in a war game or any kind of miniatures game or anything like that. I don't like having clean uniforms. I don't like clean paint jobs because war ain't clean. That's how I kind of look at it, you know. And a khaki uniform ain't gonna stay khaki for long. Like, it looks more faded around the knees and elbows. Yeah, well, that's the dry brushing, which I really didn't know whether I was going to do it or not. But I'm glad I did. I just went over the wood. That's okay. So I didn't know whether it was going to look a little too like chalky or dusty, but I think it works in this respect, because yeah, like you said, it was not canvas. It was what was the fabric you said it was? Not canvas. Cotton? Wool. Thank you. Wool. They're poncho things that are useless, really. Poncho things? I don't think I've ever seen those. I know they had more of a poncho thing in World War One. I don't think I've ever seen the World War Two ones. And use them in really bad weather. Oh, yes, no, sorry, I have seen those. I have to admit, this is this. Watch it. playing bolt action, or kind of getting ready to play bolt action, has got me in the mood to watch some old war movies, and the one that springs to mind is A Bridge Too Far, which I think I've got it on DVD somewhere. I might have to dig it out. That's a very good film. Like the World War II one about the snipers. Oh, the German and Russian one. The oh god, what's it called? Ralph Fiennes and Joseph Fiennes and Jude Law, Rachel Weisz, and Ed Harris, and it's called. Oh, what's it called? Enemy at the Gates. Yes, that's right. Yeah, because Ed Harris plays a German sniper sent in to take out Joseph Fiennes' character because he's a very good sniper. And it's set in Stalingrad, I want to say. I know it's set in Russia. I can't remember if it's Stalingrad or not. The worst Russian sniper. Yeah, she had a ridiculous amount of confirmed kills, didn't she? Yeah. I'll just do the glasses as well. Yeah, Enemy at the Gates is a very good film. It's very long, but it's very, very good. But yeah, A Bridge Too Far. If you haven't seen Bridge Too Far, highly recommend. Everyone from that kind of era of acting is in it. I think it was 70s. I want to say maybe 60s. More into medieval and pre-medieval history, but the films are generally terrible. I'm trying to think of examples. Oh, to be fair, actually, you might enjoy, if you haven't seen it, I think it's just called The King, with Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson. I can recommend that. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it's very good. I can't remember exactly what period of history it is. The writing's good, I can forgive some inaccuracy. Yeah, it's very, very good. It's very, very good. Yeah, it's just called The King. Costume designer thinks they know how to make armor better than the armor smiths at the time. It irks me. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've got to make it practical from a filming point of view. But didn't they for Lord of the Rings, didn't Weta Workshop make an ungodly amount of chainmail? Heard about that. Considering how much they made, they did a good job. Yeah, I think there was a small documentary about it, and I think throughout the entire filming process and pre-production process, 2 people were just employed just to make hoops for chainmail, and they were just doing it non-stop because they needed that much chainmail for the films. Takes a long time to make one shirt. Yep. Now I'm trying to think of any kind of more medieval films that are... I mean, I almost said Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Don't get me wrong. Fantastic film, and I will die on that hill. It is not historically accurate, though. One of Alan Rickman's greatest performances. Tried to make some with pre-made rings and it was torture. Yeah. One day I will get the print file for chainmail and get some kind of silver filament and just do it. I'll just do it that way, the cheating way. Not a whole shirt, just maybe like a little patch of quote unquote chainmail. Seen printed pieces in cosplay, it looks amazing. It's done in black spool and then dry brush. Yes, yeah, that's right. And because it prints that you can just take it off the bed and then just bend and like snap it and it will just fall into place. It's a very, very cool idea. I'd be very surprised if production houses for films aren't doing that now. I mean, there's a benefit to you know, making it out of metal because you got the weight and it's obviously a lot more durable, but the speed aspect of being able to 3D print, and you can, I mean, you can print it metal as well, so there's that. But yeah, for cosplay it's ideal. Good. All right. Oh god, we're about halfway through. I think I can get to. I can do all the straps, and then it might be the end of the stream. Hope so. It's light, it's cheap, and it looks good. Plus, it's better than the horrific wool chainmail they used. Oh god, yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, do I bother doing all the eyes for these guys? Yeah, it'll annoy me if I don't. I won't be doing that on stream though. That'll be very much an off stream and at a later date thing. Certainly work for non-main character people. Oh yeah, for like main characters and but for like extras, yeah, just 3D print it. Absolutely. You know more than I, but I've read that they often have a good set for close-up camera work and then change back into worse set for acting. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had no first-hand experience of that, but yeah, there'll be works for like the weapons as well. There'll be ones to fight, do the actual combat with, which will be prop swords, and then the ones for close-ups will be 9 times out of 10 there'll be different ones that have had a bit more detailing put in, but ones that, you know, the stuntmen or the actors are beating 7 bells of hell out of each other with, yeah, they won't be very detailed and usually built in a way that if it breaks, it's fine, we've got another one. Oh, helmets. Stop forgetting the helmet strap. Rhett! Hey Rhett, how's it going? Yeah, breaking up this uniform with the straps, I think it's really going to help. It was the straps that was canvas, that's what I'm thinking of. It was the straps and the bags that were canvas. Got some hype on the Dante. Yeah, that seemed to do really well. Do you want to see it? Where is it? Yeah, that video did very, very well. There's the Dante. I need to finish him. I'm really happy with how he came out, actually. It was the first time that I'd taken the non-metallic metal in this way, taken it a little bit further with, you know, the highlights and the spots and things like that. So yeah, I did the Patreon exclusive video for this, and then the PDF, which, you know, if you've seen one, then you don't need to see the other, unless you particularly like working from a particular medium. It's so white. Yeah, the white. Yeah. The white is blown out a little bit. I did go back over with the white. I mean, you can't really see, but there is like hints of yellow in the white. Just because I can't take it back to pure white. I'm not going to bother. It doesn't need to for most of it. Maybe for the actual wings, that needs to be white. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and this actually had a big impact on the Patreon as well. Which was quite it was quite reassuring, because that's really where I want to focus. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot more 40k models, because apparently they're popular. Who'd have thought? As well as everything else, you know. The Patreon is not suddenly going to become just Warhammer. I couldn't do that to myself. But yeah, the Patreon. That's the goal for this year. Is to get the Patreon up to the point where it's full time. Essentially, that's the main goal now. Is to take painting back to full time. I was just thinking to myself, I need to paint something other than Warhammer as I started painting Mortarion 5 minutes later. Yeah, I've got a not Mortarion model that I'd like to print and paint. It's the one that's on the web store. I've got a load of models that I need to paint up ready for Salute, because anyone who has seen my my stall for things like GriffCon and the Southwest Gaming Expo, or you've just seen it online, seen the videos of it, I'm upgrading it big time for, well, not big time, but I'm upgrading it so the whole stall, or a main part of the stall, becomes a diorama. So there's going to be a 5 foot long, maybe almost 6 foot long diorama built in and around the cabinets for Salute. And I don't know if you can see that brown box there is full of 3D printed parts. Ready for it, and I haven't finished printing yet. It's good, it's doing well. If I hadn't already painted Dante, I'd be giving it a go at my Sanguinor. Yeah. I mean that's kind of why I picked up Dante. I was like, this. It's an iconic model. It's a really nice sculpt. I do really enjoy this sculpt. It's very, very cool. But you can use this technique for Sanguinor. You can use it for any Stormcast or anything like that. I thought about doing it on a Stormcast, and I kind of have in the past. But I want to do it like 40k is more popular, and it's a cool model. Sanguinor Scarred, and Custodes as well. Works for Custodes. So yeah, that's the. But it was an impulse buy. I walked into Mad for Miniatures down here, and saw it, and I was like, that's a cool model. That's tax deductible. That's a good idea. Let's do that. I don't collect Space Marines. I don't intend on collecting Space Marines. It's just going to be I painted it because, and for, Patreon. But yes, the video on Instagram has done better than I thought it would do. It's that's I think last time I checked it was like 8,500 likes, something like that. And it might be going to GriffCon this year, depending on some of things. Hey, awesome! I've got it booked in. I don't think anything's been organised in regards to stands or anything. I haven't heard anything yet, but yeah. Really like coloured armour that isn't meant to look like Space Marine plastic armour. Yeah. I'm gonna use this same technique to do other chapters. So I wanted to have a go at basically replacing the yellow with a blue and see what it looks like for an ultramarine. Replace it with red, see what it looks like that. The downside to that is the yellow that I use, Zillet Yellow, which is this one here. It works very well for gold because this is so transparent. I don't know how it's going to work on something like, for example, Beowulf Blue, because this isn't as transparent. So I don't know what it's going to be like. But that's part of it, as we find out. Hey, thank you very much for the follow. was hoping to get to SMC, but if I don't find a job soon, I won't be going. Yeah, SMC. I mean, it's a whole. You've got extra travel bits then. If you don't try, you never know. Yeah, exactly. Living up to your name, Alchemist mixing contract. It's kind of another reason of doing it is like going down this layering and making, well, I'm not even painting. I don't know why I'm holding it. It kind of does go with the name, doesn't it? So, yeah. I'm really happy that the Patreon's taking off because it's ultimately where I want to get to. There's a local place, a local creative space that you can rent artist studios, and I kind of want a little bit of separation between home life and work, because at the moment, like, this is my living room and most of it is just models and paint. A lot of my wall space is just taken up by paint, and on every surface, every conceivable surface in this room, there is at least one model that I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put it. This shelf, and it just stays there. So I kind of want a little bit of separation between work and life and home life, and I would love to be able to afford to rent one of the studios. And it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be a big studio, but it'd be quite nice to go somewhere to work, which I used to do, but I mean, this is a lot closer. It's only like 2 miles from where I live, but it's also like a community there. One of my friends used to have a photography studio there, and there's all kinds of artists. There's lots and lots of things there, and it's just a really nice space. And so yeah, the ultimate goal is to be able to afford to hire a studio, rent a studio, full time. So when Patreon takes off, or continues to take off, that's going to be, first is pay bills, afford to pay bills, and cover, paint and models and things like that. Pay bills, and then once it's comfortably doing that reliably every month, then it's going to be okay. It's not going to be that much to rent one of the studios for the size that I want. It's doable. That's the goal. Been trying so many new things since I decided to start using oils too. Yeah, I've got who sent me? Stibio Primaris sent me a load of oil paints very kindly, and I just haven't had a chance to play around with them. That's the other thing is if I rent the studio, I can afford to stretch out a little bit in space. I could get an airbrush properly this time and actually really give it a go rather than fuming up my living room. Been looking at new houses to buy, so I've made a stipulation that I need a workshop or conservatory on the house for a studio. Yes! Yes, absolutely. Okay, 5 more to go. Ooh, and we're running out of time. I may have to cut this short because I've got someone coming around in a bit. Conservatory is really good as art studios due to insane light. They are. They're also very cold in winter. So this room is connected to the rest of the house via a conservatory, and it's great in summer. It really is great in summer. But you can't see it, through the door over there, as soon as you open that door, you are hit by a wall of cold. Every time I want to go anywhere else in the house, I have to go through there, and yeah, it's not great. And whenever that door is opened, it just sucks out all the warm air here. Live in a barn, I'm used to the cold. Right, yeah. Oh, but like, that conservatory isn't heated at all. Like, it is cold out there. Ah, that... So technically, all of these pouches and bags should be the same colour. But I'm kind of just tempted to leave them this green because it's a different green. I think it's fine. I was tempted to go completely like screw historical accuracy and do them very different colours, but no. It was a fleeting thought. I can do this one, which is annoying because there's only 3 left, but then I have to call it, so I don't know what time my friends come around. I said any time after 8, so that could mean 9 or it could mean 1 minute past 8. And I haven't eaten yet, so I need to do that. But yeah, Vite, make sure you check out The King. I think. Well, I don't know whether you'll like it, but I enjoyed it and I can recommend. Sal watching the clock. Unlikely. Okay, right. I think that's, yeah, it's 1 minute 2. That's where I'm going to call it. I got 3 more to do, annoyingly, but I'll do those tomorrow or in a bit or something like that. Anyway, right, hang on, let me just grab my stuff. So, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me for the last 2 hours. I've had a couple of weeks off. Baby, get on camera, do your job. There we go. I've had a couple of weeks off just for the holidays, but the plan is every Tuesday, 6 till 8, I will be streaming. It will be nice and chilled like this. Nice chilled out music and models of whatever variety, whatever I seem to be painting for myself. Not gonna lie, it's probably going to be a lot of bolt action in the next couple of months because it's quite fun. But until then, until next Tuesday, I will bid you farewell. So YouTube, I'm going to stop the stream now. Thank you very much for hanging out, and I will see you soon. And if you've been watching the VOD, I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.